Hello, everybody, and welcome to this exclusive interview as part of the Supernova 2023 conference from NextGen Planners, which is 3 events, great people, and very, very big ideas. And the person that we've got on the interview today, I don't think will probably need any introducing, because I'm imagining that you'll all know who it is. And that, of course, is Gail Porter. How are you doing, Gail?
I'm fine. So I'm sure lots of people don't know who I am. But thank you very much, Dan. That was lovely. And
That sounds good.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, it's really, really good to see you. Lovely to have you on. We're very excited to have you speak at our event. And it's gone down very well with our audience as well. So I can imagine there's a lot of excitement going around about your keynote at our event on the 15th of June, 2023, which is going to be called Twilight. So it's the first time that we've done this event before one of our conferences. It's going to be a lot of good fun, a lot of great people, and of course, headlined by you as well. So thank you so much for your time. For anyone who doesn't know you in the audience, though, can you just tell us, and I mean, you could go on for probably hours talking about this, but can you just tell us a brief kind of overview of your story and the cool things that you're involved with in the moment and that kind of stuff?
Okay, 2 seconds. How long have you got? So my name's Gail Porter. I've got alopecia. This is the reason I've got no hair. I worked behind the scenes in the television industry for quite a long time. Then eventually I got a job on children's telly, and I did that. And then I did programs like The Big Breakfast, Top of the Pops. And then I did a photo shoot for a magazine called FHM, and they projected my naked bottom onto the Houses of Parliament without my knowledge, and then did a runner and left me. Yeah, didn't pay me, didn't do anything, but and then now I do kind of like documentaries. I've just won a BAFTA for doing a documentary about mental health. Sorry, I have to bring up the BAFTA because do you know what, the only thing I've ever won is a Weetabix pencil piece. So when you win a BAFTA after a Weetabix pencil, that's quite good, isn't it? So now I work for a lot of charities. I work for a lot with animals. I'm an ambassador for the Samaritans. I'm an ambassador with the Scottish Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, RSPCA I work with. I mean, stuff like that. And I just do lots of talks and try and make people happy and smile and let everybody know that doesn't matter what you look like or how you're feeling, we're all in this together kind of thing.
Oh, that's a lovely message. That was amazing. I didn't think that you were actually going to succinct it into that short, to be honest. But that was amazing. You've got so much in there. It's crazy. I mean, there's so many things that we could pull out of there. I mean, so much that we could talk about. But I think it's probably better that we focus on what you're getting up to at the moment and the cool things that you're involved with today, obviously. And of course, you didn't mention in there that your rescue cat Ziggy, she'll probably make an appearance at some point, I would imagine. At some point.
Ziggy's just gone for a wee now. So when we first started, when we and Dad just met here on this, Ziggy Stardust, my cat, she's a rescue cat from the Cat Protection Society. She just decided she was taking up the whole screen, but she's gone now. She needs a wee.
Well, hopefully she will make an appearance because we do have a lot of cat lovers in our audience. So I'd imagine they'd like to see her at some point. So sorry if she doesn't, everyone. So 3 different programs and everything that you do, obviously, you mentioned it a little bit at the end of what you were saying there, but body positivity and being happy is a massive part of what you do, and being comfortable in your own skin. You mentioned your alopecia there as well. Really, really good work on promoting that and making people aware of it. But are you seeing a kind of, this is a massive question, Gail, and we're getting quite serious already, but are you seeing a trend in the UK and maybe around the world as well towards people being more body positive, or like what's the kind of sit rep on the situation regarding body positivity at the moment?
Do you know, I think it's a little bit like mental health. People are starting to talk about it, which I think is the most important thing. I sometimes get on the tube in London town and people either will chat to me and say, oh, you know what, my friend is losing her hair through to sometimes horrible chemotherapy or losing the hair through alopecia. So they talk to me. And I think with body positivity as well, people are accepting it, whether they might be bigger or smaller. I mean, I'm 5'1", and sometimes I get taken, they take the mickey out of me for being short, or, I was overweight at one point. I was underweight at one point. Do you know what the most important thing is? We're all talking about these things. And do you know what someone said to me the other day? He said, why don't you wear a wig? And I said, because I'm really not comfortable wearing a wig. It's kind of itchy and it's not. Anyway, do you just want attention? And I was like, you know what? I've been bald for 17 years and I'm just happy with it. This is me. I don't want, yeah, I'm just happy being me. And I think that's the most important thing we should be saying to each other. You know, if I don't want to wear a wig, I shouldn't be wearing a wig because the guy next to me in the tube thinks that I should wear a wig. And this other guy said to me, he's like, oh, I remember when you used to be pretty. And I was like, you know what? If you want to say these things, keep it to yourself because you're going to make younger people feel more insecure about themselves. If you say things like that out loud, just keep it to yourself. You don't need to tell me. I'm quite happy. Thank you.
I'm continuously surprised at the things that people say. Like, I mean, I'm giggling because it's just so ridiculous, some of the things that people say sometimes. Like, I cannot imagine the thought process of someone who would think to say that to you, to be honest. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I just, you know, it's just crazy. And, you know, I mean, again, we're getting quite serious, but especially with the rise of, you know, social media and stuff like that nowadays, you know, the body positivity and perhaps body negativity to focus on that for a second, that is, I would say, probably rising as well. So it's an interesting part of history that we're in at the moment, isn't it, where we're focusing on being positive about your body and that kind of stuff, but actually the tools and stuff that we're using every day is actually reducing that body positivity because we see other people who perhaps we want to look like or something like that.
Do you know, I think I love my social media because I'm kind of I know how to work it. Kind of, you know, if someone's mean to me and said, you know, you bold, whatever, I get rid of it. I just go block, report. I always say that to anybody, from kids to whoever's just block, report. You don't know these people. They've got nothing to say about you. But yeah, I do think, you know, with all these filters and everything else, it must be a really hard time for younger people who think, oh, I want to look like that, or I want to look like that. And I just want to sort of say to young people and even people my age, and you know, we are what we are, and we just, as long as we're good and we're kind and we're thoughtful, does it really matter? Do we really need to be honest with you, look, I've got this massive jumper on because yeah, it's not holiday time and I haven't been to the gym. So do you know, it's just be positive, and it's really difficult. And I feel for kids because when I was younger, we didn't have social media. We didn't even have mobile phones. So it was great because if we did have mobile phones, most of us would have been arrested. But yeah, I think the comparing of bodies and everything is really detrimental to young people's mental health. I don't think it's right. And you just need to be happy in your own skin, be healthy, be wonderful, and don't compare yourself to anybody else because you're individual. You are you, and you are only you that are ever going to be. Yeah. Oh my God, it sounded like Dr. Seuss.
I think it's good sometimes to have these little pep talks, to be honest with you, or with yourself and from somebody else, just because, you know, it seems like common sense, doesn't it, really, to love yourself and to love the body that you're in and things. But it's so easy to get off path with that kind of stuff, isn't it?
You know what? We all have bad days. We all, you know, do you know, I still have friends phone me going, oh, gosh, I've just been to hairdressers. It was a nightmare. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gail. And I was like, no, it's fine. You can talk to me about the hairdressers. It's totally fine. Or, you know, I'm having a fat day, or I'm having a skinny day, or, oh gosh, oh my goodness me, I need to get my legs waxed. Sorry, Gail. So it's fine. Yeah. I'm the lucky one. I don't have to get my legs waxed.
But also, it's you've kind of shown the superpower of not making a joke out of it, but getting there first with the humor. Because if you get there first with the humor before anyone else can, then no one can make jokes because you're laughing about it anyways. And that's one of the really good ways to start with body positivity, isn't it? Is to just start laughing before they can, and that's
and also just stand up for yourself, because you know. Yeah. I'm a big believer. We're only here, as I say, we're only here once. You know, I've lost my mom, my dad, my grandparents, and there's not a single day that I don't get up and I think, you know, I miss them like crazy. And I'm going to do the best I can possibly do for me and my daughter and be positive for other people, because, you know, I know it's not really got much to do with anything, but you just sort of like, you know, you realize your place in life and you think, oh, yeah. I'm going to do the best I can do. That's all I can do. And I'm not wearing a wig, and I'm not going to care if I put on a bit of weight or lose a bit of weight or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it's lovely, amazing. And you mentioned in before the documentary, and I've watched that. I watched the was it BBC Scotland one? I've seen. Was that the one you're talking about? Is that the BAFTA one, or is I can see.
You know what it's called, Dan? BAFTA, right, as I said, only won a Weetabix pencil case. And then when they said you're up for BAFTA, and I thought, oh, how exciting. Maybe I can wear a dress and da-da-da. But it was lockdown. So I had to watch it on the internet. And I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't get dressed up. I think I was just wearing a pair of jeans and a top. It was all right. But...
Yeah, you look a bit like a psychopath if you get dressed up at home to go on a Zoom meeting, I think, don't you? I think that's one of the reasons with it. But I think probably people in the audience will have seen that documentary as well. Certainly hard hitting, really, really good. And in that, you do focus a lot on mental health and how it's, we're trying to work towards it being less stigmatized nowadays. And in our audience, in the community, it is definitely something we try and make sure that it's not stigmatized. But and this is another massive question for you, but and a quite a serious question, but we've got a lot of people in our community who will be at the start of their career or will be very, very early on. And mental health and your career, as you know, Gail, that they're quite linked to each other. So if you could give someone in the audience one piece of advice on, looking after your mental health whilst also trying to grow a career, what would you say to them?
That's a good question, because
put you on the spot there, haven't I? Yeah.
No, I've got you. No, yeah, you did a bit, but no, you didn't. I think when I started, it's very difficult. You only put me on the spot because I don't want to name companies that I worked for and stuff like that. But there was, certain companies I worked for saying, well, maybe wear a tiny bit shorter skirt when you come to work. You're like, what? But, back in the 90s. But I would just say, do you know what? Don't let anyone put you down. And always remember that I had a couple of bosses that were super mean to me. And I just kept my balance and thinking, do you know what? We all started somewhere. I'm starting at the bottom. And I'm not going to react to you being really horrible to me because, we're all going to we have to work our backsides off to get to where we want to be. So you have to be respectful, be kind. But if someone is a little bit mean to you or something, you need to take it into your own hands and possibly report those kind of people that are just being nasty, if that makes any sense to you. So I was bullied a lot. But I would just say, do you know what? Take it and remember that it's you've got this. I always say to my daughter, we've got this. She's like, you've got what, Mum? I went, I don't know, but we've got it. Or just like, go for something. And also, if you're not happy with somewhere, move or say to someone, I'm not happy. But if it's really upsetting you, you don't need to be in that place. You've got to remember when you go to work, this is kind of your life, whether it's 5-6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. You don't want to be doing something you don't like because it's not good for you. It's not going to make your heart happy. It's not going to make you smile. It's not going to, you don't want to go out with your friends of an evening and go, do you know what? I had a really rubbish day again. You want to do something that makes you happy, and you need to be somewhere that you can talk to other people and communicate.
Yeah. I think that's one of the big things that has come about in recent years, isn't it? Is the It's Okay to Talk campaign of, just telling people how you feel and not being ashamed of it. I completely agree with you as well on the thing about moving if you're not happy. I've been in that situation in the past, and you kind of weigh it up in your head. You think, am I going to live the rest of my life being unhappy in this role that I'm in, just because I'm scared that if I move, I might find nothing else? You'll always find something.
That's the thing as well. When you get scared, thinking, "Oh, if I move, what if I don't get another job?" And no, if you're strong enough to move, you're strong enough to get another job. You'll be all right.
But also that short-term pain of perhaps not having a job or being unemployed or whatever it might be, in the long term, if you think, I know it's hard to think in the long term, but if you think in the long term, the difference that will make will be enormous. It definitely will. There's case studies, so many people have done this in the past, and they've gone on to do amazing things by just being strong and leaving something that they're not happy doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been homeless in my lifetime, and just because of the way I looked, I wasn't getting any jobs or anything. And then I just thought, I can't cope with this. And I thought, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I will pull myself back up. Don't know how, but I did it. And it was just like, yeah, we've got this. Again, we've got this. I sound like, oh, there's the cat. Here's Ziggy. Hang on.
Oh, there's Ziggy.
There's Ziggy.
There she is. Oh, I can see what you mean about the stripe down her head. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, that's good. I think I was hoping that she would make an appearance, and I'm so glad that she has. So that's incredible. a bit of a teaser.
She wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then she goes to sleep all afternoon. Like you say.
Yeah, you get them for company and then they leave you alone, don't they? That's the way it goes. So a bit of a teaser, Gail, just before we wrap things up. Obviously you're going to be speaking at Twilight, which is the evening before the conference. Can you give us a bit of a teaser? And again, I've got a feeling I might know what you might be talking about, but you kind of want to give us an idea of what people can expect from what you'll be talking about on that evening.
Well, I'll probably be telling you a little bit about when I was at school, and I used to get picked on. My nickname was Snobby Porter because I used to put my hand up when the teacher would go, right, does anyone know? And I go, yeah, me. And they're like, we haven't said the question yet. I thought, I just wanted to put my hand up. I was just one of those kids. And then I'm going to tell you all about that. Then I'm going to tell you about a little bit about how I got into the jobs that I got into, how I got into working in television, how I lost my hair, how I lost everything, how I was homeless, and then how I'm with you guys now. I'm saying, do you know what? I'm still here. I'm still standing. Yeah.
Do you know this
thing I would sing.
This interview has had everything, hasn't it? It's had cats who have nicknames named after David Bowie. We've had Elton John songs. Wow. We've had alopecia. We've had everything in this interview. It's been amazing. And if people want to find out a little bit,
you're going to say, do you know what? We don't want you anymore.
Yeah, it's actually made it. It's actually made me very excited for it now, which is it's a bit annoying that it's a few months away now because I just want to kind of see now. If people in the audience do want to find out a little bit more about all the work that you're involved in, where should they go? Where can they find you?
Well, do I give my I'm really rubbish at everything. So I'm on Twitter. It's just Gail Porter, at Gail Porter, the bold one. And then on Instagram, it's I am Gail Porter. And that sounds like I'm a bit of a idiot because it's like, yeah, check me out. But it's only because there is at Gail Porter. So someone else has got me. So I have to be, I am Gail Porter. So yeah, you can follow me and see what I'm up to. Usually it's like pictures of like new trainers or socks or cats or dogs. It's really boring. Even my daughter, I think, has blocked me. So so that, and then I'm kind of like, I'm working with the SSPCA, Samaritans. You could find me with all these people just trying to make the world smile a bit, because it's not the best at the moment, really, is it? We're not having the best time. So every tiny little bit I can do, or everybody can do, it makes a difference to somebody somewhere.
Yeah. Fantastic. And I'm just thinking of someone's grandma who's called Gail Porter on Instagram, and now she's been upstaged by you.
Give me back my accounts. I'll tell you one last thing before you go. My grandpa's name was Horatio Walter Stanley Twiddy.
Wow.
Just thought I'd end it on that. That's an amazing name, isn't it?
That is incredible. That's every one of those names is different. That's incredible.
Horatio Walter Stanley Twiddy. And when my naked bottom was projected on the Houses of Parliament, my mum was very angry. My dad ignored it, and my grandpa, Horatio Walter Stanley Twiddy, phoned me up and he's like, "I've just bought 3 copies. That's my good." I was like, oh God. And he's like, no, it's fine. I saw your arse when you were a tiny baby. I was like, oh God. So he was
unfortunately, that's what grandparents are for, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very fun.
That's amazing. Well, Gail, honestly, I can't thank you enough for doing this. Like I said, it's not probably usual procedure to have to do interviews with people before you talk in front of their audience, but NextGen's a little bit different.
It's so lovely because I get to meet you first. So we're not like,
not in person, but I know what you mean. Yeah, fantastic. Well, we're really looking forward to having you speak. Thank you so much for this. It's been a really, really good interview. And of course, if anyone in the audience wants to grab tickets to our event, there are still tickets remaining. You can go to NextGen Planners. There's a URL at the top of the screen there. It's nextgenplanners.co.uk/conference, and you can grab some tickets to the 3 events that are going on in May and June this year. But again, thank you so much to Gail. Thank you guys in the audience for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.